A while back, I was wondering why, after stretching my psoas muscle for weeks, I still had pain in my lower back and hips. It was a really frustrating feeling, that constant tension, almost like a stubborn rubber band that refused to loosen up. Well, the psoas muscle acts much like this tight rubber band, and it turns out that stretching it the wrong way, like I was, is one of the main reasons why pain and tension can persist, or even show up in the first place. I'm not only going to show you the right way to stretch your psoas, but I'll also show you how to finally get the relief you've been looking for in just 3 simple steps. The secret to stretching the psoas correctly lies in its anatomy. This muscle is basically like a bridge in your body. It not only connects the upper body to the lower body, but it also connects the front and back of the body, running from the spine at the base of the rib cage and eventually attaching onto the front of the thigh bone. It's a crucial muscle that affects not just different kinds of pain, but also how good your posture is, how flexible you're able to become, and even whether you're walking correctly. The problem, however, is that the psoas tends to shorten, becoming not only tight, but weak when we spend a lot of time sitting, which pretty much all of us do nowadays. So if you're stretching your psoas the wrong way, it's very likely that at some point you'll experience some pain and discomfort in your hips, lower back, and pelvic area. In fact, stretching it wrong might even make things worse. Now, we often resort to traditional stretches like long lunges to combat tightness in the psoas, but these stretches rarely target the psoas effectively because they completely ignore how weak this muscle actually is. So here's the game changer. We need to combine the right stretching techniques with movement to also help strengthen the psoas, which is exactly what this muscle truly needs. But how do we actually do that? Well, first up, it's important to warm up the whole area around the psoas. The best way to do so is with simple hip circles, which you can do either lying on your back or standing. Make these circles as slow and deliberate as you can. Don't rush it. And make sure you're isolating the movement to just the hip joint. Nothing else should move. I recommend 3 to 5 slow circles in each direction for both hips. And now here comes our movement or strengthening piece. Standing up tall, pull one knee towards your chest as high as you can, hold it there for a moment, and then slowly lower the foot back down to start over. As you're doing this, squeeze the glute on your supporting leg to help keep yourself stable, and if you need a little extra help balancing, feel free to hold onto a chair or a wall. This might already feel plenty challenging if your psoas is weak, but over time we'll want to make this movement more difficult to keep building more strength. To do so, you can either add in extra resistance, like by using an elastic band or by attaching a weight to the ankle, or you can also take this movement seated, ensuring that you keep good posture and a tall spine throughout the exercise. Whichever variation you choose, try to do a set of 10 on one side, and on the last rep, hold the knee up and count to 10 as slowly as you can before changing to the other side. For extra credit, you could repeat a second set of 10, either right after your first set or at some other point during your day. Now that we've dynamically strengthened the psoas, we're ready for a more traditional stretch to bring it some length and relief. You've probably seen people trying to stretch their psoas in a fancy long lunge, but this can be a mistake, primarily because other parts of the body are being stretched here as well, which distracts from the targeted psoas stretch that we're trying to achieve. This longer position also tends to tilt the pelvis forwards, which can strain the lower back. Not what we're going for. So to isolate the psoas, instead of a long lunge, take a short lunge, as if you were about to propose marriage, with your shoulders and hips lined up right on top of your back knee. This position is much more stable and controlled, which will help us to get a deeper stretch. To bring the stretch into the psoas at the front of the hip from here, squeeze your glutes and try to tuck your tailbone under, lengthening through the lower back. For most of us, this is already a lot more intense of a stretch than it looks, but if you want a little bit more, you can either try twisting your upper body in the direction of your front knee, or you can also try leaning your upper body back a little to find the intensity that you feel you need. Once you've chosen your position, hold the stretch for about 30 seconds, which is 5 or 6 deep, slow breaths. To help you put these steps into action and avoid common psoas stretching mistakes, I've linked some follow-along yoga practices in the description box of this video. But even with these stretches, if you still feel nagging pain or tension in your lower back, you'll want to check out this short video next to discover the real reason your lower back hurts and how to fix it in just a few simple steps.